morning, we're spotlighting the man charged with the murder of 13-year-old Madeline Soto. Stephan Stearns will be in court 1 week from today for a pretrial hearing. This week, he filed a motion arguing that Florida's death penalty is unconstitutional. Stearns' attorneys say that aspects of a Florida law that outline aggravating factors are overly vague and subject to being applied in an arbitrary and inconsistent manner. Now, Stearns is separately facing dozens of charges that he sexually abused Madeline and will go to trial later this month on those charges. Let's get you caught up on the case evidence. Here's Court TV's Cody Thomas.
We know digital forensic evidence has been central to the investigation into the death of Madeline Soto. And I traveled to Osceola County, Florida to get a firsthand look at the crime scenes. What quickly became apparent is just how much surveillance video the prosecution should have. So we will begin right here at the Venetian Bay Apartments where Jen Soto and Stephan Stearns and Madeline lived. We'll pause right here just to get a scope of the scene and how protected this complex was. First and foremost, a security guard is out front, so no one's coming in and out without having to check in with this guy. We see that a car right here was already getting checked when I was there a few months ago. Also, what we notice, cameras over here and a big gate. So this is not just a complex that anyone can roll into and roll out of. Now we'll move along to the back gate. Now this gate is where prosecutors say they have video of Stephan Stearns here yet again, more cameras, going in and out on the morning that Madeline went missing. To the dumpster, also in the complex. What do we have? More cameras, even here looking at the dumpster. Now, what's important to note about this dumpster here is that this is where police say they found Madeline's backpack and school-issued laptop. And also they say they have Stearns on video throwing those things away. This is around the time that she was found and declared dead, but what's important is this memorial is right in front of this area right here, because in these trees, in that thicket of trees, is where Madeline's body was eventually found by police about 5 days after she went missing. Now, of course, all this was leading up to the eventual arrest of Stephan Stearns in March of 2024, when police picked him up on sexual assault charges. Stearns was then later charged with the murder of Madeline Soto.
That was Cody Thomas, Court TV reporter, talking about this case. Now let's bring in the former state attorney in Palm Beach County, Florida. He is in private practice now, attorney Dave Ehrenberg. Dave, good morning to you and congratulations on your big move. I hope this means we get to see more of you.
Yes, Julie, great to be back with you. In fact, the first week after I went into private practice, I was teaching at Harvard Law School's Trial Advocacy Workshop with Linda Kenny Bodden, who was just on your show.
Oh my
and
gosh.
Joe Tacopina.
You were teaching there too. She was just, oh my gosh. Well, we're going to have you two on the show. If we can coordinate that, you're both such busy people. We'll try. But that is really awesome.
It's one big... Thank you. It's like 2 degrees or 1 degree separation of Julie Grant. It's a big family. And yeah, I got to meet Joe Tacopina, who is quite an interesting character. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Oh, I bet he was thrilled to meet you. Wow, that is awesome. I want to come. Next time you all are teaching, I want to come to the class and I'll be a witness or something. I'll offer to be a witness for the kids and give them some practice. Oh my goodness. Okay, Dave, so let's start here. I want to start here with the choice prosecutors are making to try the sex abuse case before the homicide case. What do you think about that move?
You know, it's interesting because usually you'd go for the more serious one first, because after all, the murder charge carries the death penalty. You could seek the death penalty on the sex charges under Florida's law, although it's a relatively new law and they haven't tested the constitutionality yet. So if this defendant, Stephan Stearns, wanted to challenge the death penalty as it applies to the sex abuse, I think actually he may have a claim there, but the state is not seeking the death penalty for the sexual abuse, which perhaps is why they're going first. They think they've got him dead to rights on the sexual abuse. They're not seeking the death penalty. It's going to be easier and faster. Let's get that out of the way. And then when he's found guilty of that charge, they can use that as an aggravating factor to seek the death penalty in the murder case. So I think that's why they're going first with the sexual abuse.
Okay, interesting. Thank you for that, because that was a head scratcher. When I saw them, thinking, what? Why aren't they going with the homicide case first? And we know that's what he's so fixated fixated on. He's fixated, of course he is, on potentially getting the death penalty here. Do you think the motion his defense team has filed could have some teeth when it comes to attacking the Florida law that's currently on the books?
No, that is a reach, and it shows how desperate he is to avoid the death penalty, and that could give a little bit of satisfaction to those of us who think this guy is one of the worst, and the way he made Madeline suffer, allegedly, is just so horrific. It's hard to even put your head around it, and now we see him desperately scared of getting this death penalty. So there's a little bit of schadenfreude there, I think, in what's going on. But I don't think he's going to win on any of these claims. These aggravators have been around for a long time, since 1996, and they're used continuously in capital cases. I use them many times as a prosecutor, as a state attorney. So the fact that he's now saying that after so many years of this, 28 years plus, that this is all unconstitutional, that ain't going anywhere.
Dave, thank you for that. This is helpful to know going into this as we're getting ready for trial number 1 to start just in a couple of weeks, if you can believe it. I have an interview clip I want to play for you now, Dave. This is from one of Madeline Soto's friends, and she's talking to investigators about how Madeline was wearing baggy clothing in the recent weeks before she vanished. And we know there's been a lot of speculation around the idea that she perhaps could have been pregnant. We know mom was questioned about that. So let's take a listen to what her friend said.
Did Maddie talk to you about if she was feeling ill or sick or anything like that?
No, but I did notice that she was wearing more baggy clothes than usual. Like, usually her, I don't know if this is weird or anything. I didn't notice that. I'm a hairstyle person. But usually she'd wear hoodies that were baggy, not really that baggy. And then I noticed she started wearing more baggy clothes and more longer hoodies. I remember my friends did tell me, like, she did talk about her friend, like her stepdad. But it was only, like, good things.
Only good things, wow. Focusing in on just that part at the end there first. Dave, what's your reaction when you hear this child relate that to the officer?
That part shook me, about only good things. Well, yeah, Madeline was a child, and she was sleeping in the same bed with Stephan Stearns. And, you know, to think that maybe there was some sort of Stockholm syndrome there or something else, I mean, you could see that happening. It doesn't at all alleviate his culpability. In fact, can make it worse, because you see the control he had over her. This guy's in a whole lot of trouble, and he, I think, is going to be found guilty in both cases, and when he's given the death penalty, which I think is almost certain, I think extremely likely. The Florida courts are very conservative now, very pro-death penalty. So now this guy is dead to rights, metaphorically speaking.
Dave, thank you for that. Tell me, when we think about whether Madeline was pregnant, we still don't have an answer to that. I'm wondering, is this something that perhaps the state is withholding until trial? Do you think we'll get an answer to this at trial? I guess maybe the best way to ask it is, could she have been, and we just don't know yet?
Florida has very broad discovery rules. The defense can get just about everything from the prosecution. This is different than in federal court, where you have hide the ball. It makes it a lot harder to try cases in federal court if you're a defense lawyer. So if Madeline was pregnant at the time, I think we would know about it. The defense lawyers would know about it. It's hard to keep any secrets these days, especially with all the broad discovery rules that we have in Florida. So no, I think right now it's speculation. There's no evidence that she was, but it doesn't matter. Either he did the sexual abuse or he didn't, and the pictures on his phone are just appalling and so shocking that that's going to be enough, in my view, to lead to a quick guilty verdict.
Dave, thank you. And last question for you, please, before we have to let you go. Do you think that this case will actually go to trial? Maybe I should say cases, because we've got two of them. Or do you think there's any way there could be some kind of plea agreement for one or for both?
Well, I think there could be a plea agreement if he accepts life in prison for the sexual abuse, but I don't think that's going to happen. This guy seems to be a sociopath. I saw in a recent interview with his parents that they said that Stephan Stearns lied to them throughout his whole life. Yeah, this guy is a professional liar, alleged sex abuser, and alleged murderer, and he's going to go down. In a high-profile case like this, I think this is heading to trial, guilty verdict, and then the death penalty in the murder case. And I think he's going to be incarcerated until he gets the ultimate price.
Sharp analysis, as always, from you, Dave Ehrenberg. Thank you for making time for us this morning. And again, congratulations on your move into private practice. What a wonderful job you did serving the residents of Palm Beach County. I know you're missed. I know you're missed there. But fortunately for us, hopefully we get to see you a lot more now. So thank you for everything.
Thank you, Julie. If I could plug my YouTube channel, Court Authorities, where I talk about true crime cases.
You have a YouTube channel now? How did I not know this? Oh my gosh.
Well, it was True Crime MTN, but we broadened our scope to law, politics, and true crime. It's on Court Authorities on YouTube.
Court Authorities. Congratulations. I'm subscribing. So happy for you.